Gordon Cashman of Without Walls Ministries is putting on another birthday party for Jesus. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down with Gordon one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Well, Gordon, it is so good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for taking time to talk to me.
Anytime. Everyone wants me to interview you. And everyone's trying to get in touch with me for the past couple of weeks to get in touch with you. And here we are.
They have been very kind, and you're very kind to take the time out.
Anytime. Because this is such an important event. The birthday celebration for Jesus Christ. You have 2 days left.
Yeah, I better get going.
Hey, I was going to ask, who is Gordon Cashman right now?
Yeah, busier than a one-arm wallpaper hanger with the chicken pox.
Wow.
I'm very busy.
Wow.
But it's a good busy. I love doing stuff like this, so it's a lot of fun.
Let me take you to the Post and Courier article from just yesterday. It says this: hundreds of volunteers from the Tri-County area will gather at the Citadel's Johnson Hager Stadium to bring Christmas to underserved families. The Christmas Day event, Birthday Party for Jesus, will provide participants with a hot meal, entertainment, and games, as well as free services such as haircuts. You said this to the Post and Courier in a press release. You said this, quote, "We'll be having the biggest birthday party for Jesus in the Charleston area." And I'm wondering, why Charleston, why Jesus?
Well, for one thing is, it seems like Christmas, which is supposed to be about the birth of Christ, has become very consumer. It has become a time of year when more alcohol is consumed, more consumer debt is accrued, more people checked into mental institutions, not just in Charleston, but all over. And if we believe in Jesus, and we believe that to help others is to do something for him, then if it's really his birthday, we probably ought to spend it doing something for him. And I found out happily through this that a lot of people are thinking the same thing that I have. I mean, we've got hundreds of people already signed up to volunteer, because there's many that are looking, believe it or not, for a volunteer opportunity on Christmas Day.
Right. And you talk about Christmas Day. Obviously, you talk with Jesus all the time, God and Holy Spirit. So, what do you think his message is for the world right now?
Wow. Well, I know one thing: he loves everybody. And I think it's easy to forget that, because we go through problems that are caused by ourselves, by the world, by people around us, by evil forces. And it's easy to get your heart can get kind of hard. Especially, I was just talking to someone on the phone before we're talking.
Right.
And Christmas time can be difficult for a lot of people. And hopefully this event offsets that. I've had a lot of people call me and say, "This is my first Christmas without a certain loved one," or my kids are out of the nest, or something else is going on, and they're like, "I just want to serve somebody else," and that's a good thought. And so I think that when we think about Christmas, we think about service, and we think about putting God first by putting other people first, and that's what gives me joy. Probably that's what you do. Right. That's what you do with your videos and everything.
Yes, indeed.
Put other people first. Promote what people are doing.
Exactly. That's what God has called us to do.
Yeah.
And I hate to be the dead horse, but as you indicated, there's so much going on right now. And I hate to say this, but it seems like there's more problems now than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, why is your event so important right now?
Well, I can say this. I mean, as you said, I've prayed a lot, and I really feel like our country is going downhill. I think the world as a whole, there's a lot of evil going on, a lot of greed, a lot of violence, and if we could focus in on being servants, even if you don't believe in Jesus, the idea of a leader coming and serving, washing one another's feet, and loving each other. There's a lot of, even in our country, there's a lot of division. And the good thing about this event, we'll have people from different religious backgrounds.
Wow.
We've got a whole group called the Young Judeans. They're 50 teenagers that are Jewish coming down from New York City.
Wow.
We've got Catholics, we've got Protestants, we've got atheists coming. But it's the idea of service, which is really what Jesus' message,
Right.
a lot of it was, to love your enemies, and
Right.
that I think does provide us with some of an answer. Another thing too, overall, if the churches, if we, with all of our resources and money and big buildings and sound systems and choirs, put more effort into meeting people's needs and serving and relationships and things, we may make a difference in this world where there is a lot of difficulty.
You also said this too in the press release. You said this, quote, "This 6th annual celebration will be an amazing opportunity to celebrate the birth of Christ in an authentic way." 6 years ago to right now, what is the biggest thing that sticks out in your mind about this event?
Well, one of the biggest things is people who were served at prior events now are giving. They're leaders. We have leaders in the events that came to give, received something at one point. They said, hey, I kind of like this. I want to come back, not only just give, but take a responsibility. I want to coordinate the groceries. I want to coordinate this. And to see them take this. And the other thing this year is going to be different is because people come early, because they want to get in line. And it always breaks our heart to see people waiting in line. So we decided, don't tell anyone. But we're going to start the event in the morning. When people, they come to get in line, we put on our flyers, it starts at 1, but really around 8 o'clock is when we're going to have a carnival outside, music and Kickin' Chicken's food truck and all that. So people will not have to wait in line. They'll just be outside having a party, and then we'll just say, it's time for the birthday party for the birthday boy, and we'll just move it into the stadium. So
that's amazing. Kickin' Chicken, love this sweet potato fries.
Oh yeah, good food.
Yeah, absolutely. And the article goes on to say this. The event aims to ease tension for families and redirect attention to the meaning of Christmas. So what's the tension like in some of those families when you hear them?
Well, one of the good things that happens is that we're baptizing people this year. Because it's the idea that the Bible teaches that salvation is a gift. That's what Jesus came to do.
Sure.
And so we're sharing that message. And a lot of the tension, I think, comes from broken marriages, broken relationships, lost loved ones. And there's a lot of stress this time of year. A lot of people say, when people get together for Thanksgiving or Christmas, it seems like there's a lot of conflict in that. And what it does, this event provides an opportunity, once again, to focus on others. When we have people coming, we've got a bunch of people doing haircuts there. We've got one church that's frying 200 turkeys. We've got another group that's going to bring, a lot of people are coming bringing their own thing. They're coming, I'm going to bring my face painting table instead of CCPLC, Edward Jones, they're doing a whole carnival for the kids. And we have an area just for the veterans. And so, but the thing is, people come and it's not like I'm here to serve you or you're here to serve me. No, we're just celebrating together. If you want to give your kid one of the 500 bikes, go pick one up. We have it organized, but it's in such a way that it's not going to be clear who's giving and receiving. We're just all there to give to God our day. And the authentic meaning, which is the birth of Christ, he said, when you do it unto the least of these, you do it for me. So anybody that we can serve, trying to make it more authentic.
And a lot of people have known you for a while, Gordon Cashwell, Without Walls Ministries. What does Without Walls Ministries mean to you?
Well, the idea is, instead of focusing so much on buildings and budgets and choirs, and nothing wrong with all that, that's all necessary, that's all good. But Jesus' model did not have a building, which we really don't. We meet out on the street. Jesus emphasized a relationship of a smaller group. He didn't try to build a megachurch, but he invested in relationship and accountability with a smaller group of people. So through our men's house that we had for years, it's focused on discipleship. And what did Jesus do? Well, he got a smaller group together, and then they went out and found people that had needs. Not just they needed loaves and a fish, but they needed healing. They needed to know that God loved them. They needed to know that their life wasn't over. They had hope. And it's offering that and bringing others and multiplying that idea of let's put all of our money and effort into being outside the four walls. And so it's an emphasis, and I'm not saying that that's the only way to do church or that's so much better, but it's just a continuing emphasis that it is about relationships. So we've got one guy going to help that when we met him, he'd been living on the street for 5 years. Well, now he's going to be a leader. We got another guy that's going to be preaching there and doing altar calls. Well, he was a crack addict and he was lonely out of the streets, and he came in. We've got another lady that when we met her, she had her lights cut off she was new in town and she was kind of lonely, and now she's leading and serving and life transformation. That's what it's all about. So yeah, it is. Yeah, we do need buildings, we do need budgets to do ministry, but the emphasis, I think, should be more on accountability in people and relationships, and also helping others, because the Bible says that like I said before, as much as you've done on least of these, my brother, you've done unto me. So my first 6 years as a person who I said I was a Christ follower, I don't think I helped one person with a bill. I don't think I knew a widow, or at least visited a widow. I don't think I visited anybody in prison. I don't think I hung out with any kids that didn't have a dad. And I had to learn from the Bible that that was true religion, not being successful in the church and being seen and noticed as a religious leader, but success in God's eyes is significance in serving widows and orphans and people in need. And then, of course, giving them the opportunity to serve as well, and encouraging that everybody's equal. We all have tremendous potential to serve, because if you believe the Bible, then you believe that when God comes inside of you, you have tremendous potential. So, I mean, I don't, like, if we're going to say we're going to do a homeless ministry, I don't even call it that, because I don't want myself to brand somebody as some almost not human. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I reach out to, I see as a potential deacon or teacher or my friend, or everybody's equal, obviously, in God's eyes. And so the idea with Without Walls, with outreach, isn't so much we're going to go feed a bunch of people, those people out there. It's that we're going to meet some needs, but we're also going to challenge people that they can be doing the same thing, and that they're leaders, and that they can do anything through Christ. And someone told me once, if you don't expect anything for people, you don't respect them. You don't expect, you don't respect, because it means you don't think they could do it or something. I don't know. Does that make any sense? Probably. I talk along.
No, it's all good. It's really good. It's really, really good. People need to hear this. So here, okay, where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? Well, of course, the event, we need to collect more bikes. We need people to come and bring shoeboxes. They need to go to our website, birthdayparty4jesus.org, birthdayparty4jesus.org. But with us, what we're trying to do is not only reestablish the shelter ministry that I had. Well, that wasn't really a quote-unquote shelter, but it was more of a place where people could come that had life-controlling problems. But it's also a place, an emphasis to say, hey, we have gone out in the streets and know how to touch people, to raise them up in the community, and also to have events where I think the events bring unity, because it is people from the AME, from the Catholic, from the Baptist Assemblies of God, people different racial and economic backgrounds, but working together. And that's something that can unite people, is to say, hey, we have a common goal. Let's feed the hungry. Let's do this. And of course, there's a lot of other groups that are doing great things in the city. We're certainly not the only one, but I love doing stuff like this.
That's good to hear. Well, Gordon Cashman, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Appreciate your time.
Likewise.
God bless you.
Yes, indeed.